Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast.
Andy and Burk coming at
Sometimes
you
I
with
forget.
more trailers, which I love.
Trailers and
So
our reaction to the trailer.
that's right. So we did a teaser reaction to this a while ago,
Yeah,
and it's been a while. Now, in the meantime, I had seen Farzi, which is the series, the really cool series that Shahid Kapoor was in. That's sort of like a Breaking Bad type thing, but with counterfeit money.
right.
So that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. He's great. So this will be released streaming on June 9th. So it's coming up fast.
Yeah,
And now they're bringing out posters, they're bringing out trailers. The other cool thing is this is directed by Ali Abbas Zafar. Yeah, he directed the Tigers into High movie. A super action director, kind of like a John Wick kind of guy. Which
yeah,
we're comparing this, not just us. It's being compared to John Wick because it's going to basically be like one guy just blowing everyone away. So
right. A revenge
it-
fantasy action.
exactly. I mean, we all need those. I get it. But the funny thing is, even though he was a criminal in Farzi, he was kind of adorable and sweet, and so it's funny to see him being kind of a hardcore criminal. So I'm
Right.
anxious to see it. Only seen the teaser. We have not looked at this trailer yet. We have no idea. So let's see if we can tell what it's about.
I have no idea. Shall I
Yeah.
slate it?
Yes,
Are you ready?
ready.
Here we go.
Right.
हर रात की एक कहानी होती है ये मेरी उस रात की कहानी है where things got really fucked up
वो कोकेन का बैग मेरा है
जैकपॉट लगा जैकपॉट
So don't complicate my shit. तो जानता है मुझे सिंपल रखते हैं ना यार मेरा सामान लिया अपना ले जा
ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਰੀਅਲ ਟਾਕ ਵੈਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੀਅਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਰੀਅਲ ਟਾਕ
अगर आज रात उनको ये माल नहीं मिला और ये पता कहाँ घुसे की
ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਰੀਅਲ ਟਾਕ
किसके लिए काम कर रहा है तू? जितनी कोकेन उस बैग में है ना उससे पूरा गुरुग्राम डेंजर में है साले।
I'm the real boss
इसमें तो टेस्ट ही नहीं आ रहा कोविड तो नहीं हो गया स्मेल आ रही है आपको जोक मार रहा है तू टेस्ट कर
ये तो आता है।
Find that bastard.
That really was John Wick because he had the cool suit. He was shooting shit up. I love the lots of profanity in a trailer.
Right. It's got that
was
sort of
really-
stylish kind of like the way the John Wick movies sort of call back to Blade Runner a little bit with the
Yeah.
neon and that kind of cyberpunk vibe to it. It's sort of I mean, I if you're labeling your films
Yeah.
with the
If we
genre,
are.
when I do it when I put films, on in my library, I label what genre it is. And the John Wick films, I think about it, what is it? I think it's science fiction where it's almost like a blend of present day crime, I guess,
Right.
but pushed because I'm not sure, I don't hang in those circles, but I don't
Hang.
know if super criminals are really quite that super villainous. You know what I mean? I think they're probably a little bit less stylish.
Oh yeah,
and
but that's
less
not fun to
science
watch.
fiction-y. Yeah.
Yeah,
And when
this
they
is
go in
almost
and
its
do a
own
shoot up,
genre.
I don't know if they have flamethrowers and stuff like that, even though it's very cool in the movie. And flamethrowers are really hard to do maintenance on and stuff. If you're going to use a
They're
flamethrower,
very high maintenance.
Yeah, and there's a
And the
lot of
stinky.
setup, and there's a lot of,
Mm.
and it's one of those things you don't just sort of whip it out of your tactical bag and start shooting the place up with a flamethrower. But in a movie, you can.
You
So
can't, and I think it's almost its own genre. I don't think it
yeah,
can be put into like it's kind of like a Tarantino genre. Even though we know his movies are mostly action, he's
yeah,
sort of his own style. Whereas now I feel like we have a John Wick style. It's become like the nobody, full balls to the wall kind of action
yeah,
and lot very stylish and slow motion and lots of like you said, otherworldly type, physics and things like that, and
right.
probably weapons people like this wouldn't use. But what's so fun about them is that they're just sort of in a glorified fantasy of,
It's a
what the
fantasy.
super high end crime, lots of money, the higher echelon of like, organized crime and drug dealing and cartels. So what I liked about it is that they do these beautiful locations. It almost looks like Vegas in a way. Like it's just everything's gilded and gorgeous, and he's walking
Yeah,
in. He's got a suit. There's a couple where he's wearing flannel. What's up with that?
yeah.
So I think he's an undercover guy. I don't think because he's technically our good guy, I
Oh,
believe. So I think it's about a Narcotics Control Bureau officer, and I'm assuming that he's trying to infiltrate. That's about all I can really get. But he looks
yeah.
good doing it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, those kind of stories are always really suspenseful. There's something
Yeah.
about that whole idea of going deep into the crime underworld and
Yeah.
trying to get it right. Like
Mhm.
there's always that scene where somebody says, "Oh, I remember you from Belarus when we were there doing that one hit," and the guy's like, "Yeah, yeah," and then the guy
Yeah,
says,
Belarus.
"I never went to Belarus. You're
Yeah,
a
ha,
liar."
busted.
And so
Exactly.
you got to be so careful when you're doing undercover with the criminal underworld like this. I mean, a note to all of our listeners: when you do that,
Yes.
just say as little as possible.
That is very helpful advice
Yeah,
for our fledgling criminals watching this
yeah.
podcast.
No, if you decide to infiltrate a criminal, the giant criminal science fiction-y kind of fantasy underworld, just be really careful, please.
Just be careful, people. Just be careful out there when you're dealing your drugs.
Be careful out there.
So this has a pretty good cast too. It features, as we saw, Shahid Kapoor. It's got Sanjay Kapoor,
Yeah,
Penty, Ronit Roy, Rajiv Khandelwal, Ankar Bhatia, and Vivian Bhatana. But this guy is like, I like it because it's got a great action director. It's got
yeah,
stylish, beautiful cinematography. It's just gonna be one of those,
yeah.
and it's gonna be available streaming right away. This is like a kind of a Netflix type, putting all the great movie right up. So this looks really good. And so let me real quick. We also had talked about a poster, but I'll compare them because a new poster also came out.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
compare posters. So this was the earlier poster. Beautiful shot, special shoot. They spent some time on this and some money. Really, I love just a beautiful, simple, clean shot as opposed to
Yeah, and when they do when they do the special shoot like this, this is clearly done by a good photographer,
yeah,
but they evidently brought in their hair and makeup and their
yeah,
wardrobe,
yeah,
and they had some styling going on with the photo
yeah,
shoot. It's not just a picture of the guy, it's
yeah.
a picture of the character,
Right. So he's in
and that's
character, and we have beautiful rim
it's always
light on the
special
left.
shoot.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous shoot. And so
Yeah,
they have a little touch, like he looks a little beat up, and he has blood on the collar, so like shit's going
yeah,
down. And of course we have the embers, which is in every action poster. You have to throw in
yeah,
your embers because they give like a sense of atmosphere and action. I use it
yeah,
all the time, as you'll see. Then the new posters, this looks more like a unit shot that they were kind of emulating with the other shot, unless they found a really good unit shot that
right.
they were using. But it looks very similar. The lighting's not quite as dialed in, but he has the same kind of beat up face and some blood on his collar. And they included a gun this time.
Well,
So
let's
then
look at,
for sure
if you
he's
look at the
mad to
hair
Peter.
up there, he's got like two little pieces here and
Mhm.
then one at the top. And let's look at
Yeah.
that previous poster.
Okay.
He's
Kind
got
of.
like two and one.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. I don't know. It's almost, I mean, did they plan that and say, okay, we need two little strands and then we need the one right over his right eye?
It may be just how his hair falls because, you never know. And they could have added that later to make it look more like the other poster. So no, but he definitely looks a
Yeah.
little more tired. and like serious. And this looks like he's in the middle of it and he's sick of dealing with these people. I love it. Like, don't
Right.
complicate my shit. I love that line. Don't complicate my shit. That was really
This looks
funny.
like he's been acting all day. You know, it looks like he's been
Yes.
working all day and he's into the character. The other
Yeah.
one to me just looks like a photo shoot. He looks a little
It's a
bit clean. It looks like that
calm and clean.
cut was put
Yeah.
there and the bloody collar, maybe Photoshop later or something.
Yeah.
But he looks a little bit too and he's also looking at the camera, so it's
Yes,
obviously
the at camera is the clue that it was probably, unless he's looking at camera. Yeah, even at camera, even if they're shooting him at camera, your
Yeah.
unit guy is off to the side. He'll never get him at camera. Like acts and you know they also touched out some of the bags, so he just looks a little more polished. But this definitely was more like in the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a good partner to the poster. So we have two very similar, you know, layouts, same embers, same moment, same everything, and they're just selling the hell out of his star power. That's it.
Right.
That's all you need to know. This guy's in this movie. Come and see it. So I'll see it. And if you're
And he
waiting,
hurt his nose. That's
and
what
he
we
got hit
also
in the
need to
face.
yeah.
And if you're waiting, if you're anxious to see this movie and want to see more, you know, Shahid Kapoor, watch Farsi because it's actually really fun, very accessible, very, you know, subtitles, sure, but it feels very Breaking Bad. I think everybody really liked that part of it. So
Yeah.
there it is.
Well, that one was counterfeit money, and this one is cocaine, narcotics,
drugs,
So
undercover.
it's all just dangerous. Kids, stay in school.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Stay in school. All right.
All right,
Catch you
that's
next
it.
time.
Thanks for watching.